Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. This is going to be our second part of our gaming convention video, Escape Winter convention that we were at, and I purchased some games while I was there and I wanted to tell you about them. And let me see here. First of all, games that I purchased while I was there was Mice and Mystics was one of them, and Lori and I owned this game once before, and I don't generally like story-driven games because they got huge books of reading to do, blah, blah, blah. But this one was very cute. As the years have gone by, I learned to appreciate this game a little more for just having a cute factor to it. So when I saw it at the flea market, the guy had $40 on it, and I asked him if he would take 30. He said yes. I got this game for $30. And I want to show you, everything in here is still in the shrink. He never played it. So it's like everything's still in the shrink, all the cards and everything are still in the shrink. The game's just never been used, never been played, and I was happy to do that. I was happy to get that back so I could give it another go. I think I took this game way too seriously when I first had it and expected it to be one of those games where I could control everything, and you just can't do that in these types of games. So I think I'm a little less strict about it now, and I think I'll enjoy it more. So that's Mice and Mystics. And then this game I picked up on the VFM, the virtual flea market, having to do with the convention. It's called Sword and Sorcery. Never played it. Don't know much about it. I've watched it played a couple times on YouTube, so I'm going to work my way through it. But I got this for 30 bucks. You know, it's like new, and so I like buying games on the cheap when I can. And then at the convention itself, Laura and I played a couple of games that we really enjoyed, and we purchased them after we got home. I got this on Amazon for $50, and this was $19.99 at Target. And we really enjoy Qwirkle. It's a mass market game, over 4 million copies sold. I bet you there's a bunch of board game designers that would love to have 4 million copies sold of their game. But Qwirkle is fun, and it's one of those games that you can play when you're just don't feel like doing anything else. So, I mean, I like it. So that's Qwirkle. And then this game by Charlie Bink is Trekking Through History, and it was in the first video. I love this game. If you guys haven't watched this played on YouTube or haven't had the experience of playing it yourself, it's an outstanding game. It's the only game I've played in 2022 so far that has a chance to beat Merchants of the Dark Road for Game of the Year. And I think this should be considered for Spiel des Jahres. This game is outstanding. Everything about it. The publisher did an outstanding job. It's outstanding production as far as the components and everything. It's just wonderful. The gameplay is approachable yet complex enough to really enjoy it. But I think it's a game that a new gamer could pick up, read the rule book, figure out how to play. And that's priceless. You know, it's like Cascadia. Cascadia was the Spiel des Jahres winner because it's just an approachable game. And the only person on the internet, and you can check and see, you know, call me a liar, but if you go through the top 10 games of 2021 videos on YouTube, there was only one reviewer that picked Cascadia for Game of the Year, and that was the Bones Collector, and that validates you watching me, and it validates me telling you about board games. So I love that. And this game is outstanding, and I think this game should be considered for the Spiel des Jahres this year, and just as much as Merchants of the Dark Road should be considered for the Kenner Spiel des Jahres. I just love both these games. If you're going to add anything to your library this year, those would be the ones to do. So yeah, I want to tell you about those games. I had a couple other things before my phone blacked out here. Oh, we backed a couple of games on Kickstarter I wanted to tell you about. One was Skyrise, and the other was Pueblo. It's an old Kramer and Kiesling game, abstract strategy game, very similar to a game we played at a convention called Nouveau France or something like that. They have these building blocks and you score by the color of those blocks that are on each level, like first, second, and third level. So it's very interesting, and it has a marker that moves around and that tells you what rows you're going to score and stuff like that. But those two games are inexpensive. Skyrise is an old game? I think it was. I think it was an older game. I'd have to look into it, but I think it's an older game that they're reproducing and going to make the components really, really nice. And they were relatively inexpensive as Kickstarters go. I don't back those 8, 10, 12 boxes off Kickstarter. I think that's ludicrous. But those two games, again, Kramer and Kiesling, two of the best board game designers ever. And Skyrise is an old game called Metropolis. Lori and I watched that played and decided, you know what, I think we'll like that game. And again, they're doing a nice deluxe production job on it. So I thought that would be fun. So I wanted to tell you about those two projects also. Hey, enjoy the video. We had a great time at our convention. I wanted to tell you about the games that I bought, number one, so you knew what I was interested in. Number two, because I keep telling you, if you go to these conventions and you're trying to build a gaming library, this is the best way to go if you want to do it on the cheap, folks, because you can get some nice deals there. And that's what we try to do when we go. So enjoy the video, and I'll talk at you later. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. We're still here at the convention. And
Day three.
Day three. We just got done playing Ark Nova. And Ark Nova is a game that came out in 2021 by Matthias Wig. It's a big deal, okay? Matthias Wig, it's a really, really popular game right now. And let's see what else I want to tell you. 1 to 4 players, came out in 2021. Yeah. 3.7 complexity level on Board Game Geek. It's a long affair. Lori and I have been wanting to play this game, but there's no way I was going to buy it because I knew how long of a game it was. It's just not for us. But we enjoyed our play with it, and I can see why people love this game. If you can see this, I don't know, if you haven't played Ark Nova yet, you need to experience it. It's about building and managing a zoo. And there's many different moving parts. I'm not going to get into all of them.
Nope.
It's a set collection thing going on, worker placement. So a lot of things happening in this game.
Long rule book, tiny print.
A long rule book. There's a lot of rules to it, but once you learn it, it isn't that bad. But it is long. There's nothing you can do about that. I would never play this at more than 2 players. Just never would do it.
It took us 3 hours.
It took us 3 hours for 2 players. And I've heard of games going 4 hours and so forth. And the scores were 0 to -2. It was a close game. So we worked for 3 hours and got 0. So, because your scoring markers meet, and much like Raja the Ganges, if you're familiar with that. Now there's some other games that do that where the opposite,
Yeah.
you're going to meet up opposite ends. I think even Rattlebones does it.
That was Larry, and that was me. I was the -2.
But you got these player mats that you're building your zoo enclosures on, and gathering animals and putting them in your zoo, and playing sponsors, and you're doing associations where you are contributing to conservation cards, and so it's again a lot of things going on. We had a good time playing it. It took us a long time to figure out the rules. Had several people helping us.
Yes, we did.
And would stop by and give us
Thank
some
goodness.
hints on how to play some of this game. So yeah, I'm thankful for that, and that they stopped by and helped us out. So yeah, that's Ark Nova. Lovely game. And you know what? I'm going to get on Board Game Geek and give this a 10 because I'm sick of seeing Gloomhaven up there. It's a much better game than Gloomhaven. So yeah, that's it for right now. And we're going to go eat lunch. This took us all morning. This is the only game we played. And we knew we were in for it when we sat down here, but it's a game that's so hot right now. We had to play it, and so
it was good. I enjoyed
it was good.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but it's way too long.
We wanted to play it, and it's beautiful. The cards are beautiful and educational to a certain extent, and
It's all the animals.
Yeah, just a lovely game.
I
So we're
built
gonna.
2 petting zoos. I had all petting zoos.
The fun thing is, this is going to take us about a half an hour to tear down and set back
Set
up
it
for the
back
next
up,
people. So we're going to have like 3.5, 4 hours in this. But yeah, okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. This is a Bones Collector here at the Escape Winter Convention in Orlando, Florida. And we're looking at a game here called Nemo's War. And I say looking at because I'm not going to play it. It looks like a war game. It's Nemo's War. But it looks interesting. It's 2022. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the box here.
Look at there you go.
Let's say 2 players. Does it say on here?
Up at the top right, what's up there?
Oh, 2 to 4 player co-op variant and 2 player versus variant. So, so you can play a co-op if you want to, and a 2 player versus variant. But it looks pretty interesting when I saw this. It just sounded interesting. Nemo's War, and it's got a pretty box cover. I think it looks pretty cool. But here's my problem with this game just before I even play it. And that's the information that's on the board is in such tiny text. It would just annoy me to no end. I don't know if you can see how small this information is. And I'm sure that's vital information for playing this game.
And here's the cards. You can't read them either. I mean, we have old eyes. This is
so
little tiny print.
everything in this game the font size is too small to be enjoyable for us, and so that's a deal breaker. There's too many good board games out there that to play that I don't have to play this one.
And this probably is one.
And this might be a really good game, and if you guys like combat and war games, this looks like it's pretty interesting. And I just wanted to show it to you. It's a hot game here, so, but I'm not going to take the time to learn it because I would never own this game.
Because the text is too small.
Yeah, it'd be
you
too.
got little ships. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Nice
production.
You got a little.
It's a dice game.
Whatever that is over there. I'm not really sure what that is. Some
Yeah.
kind of monster. It's got dice, all kinds of tokens. I mean, it looks.
That's the hydro drive. This is
okay.
This is it's like submarine.
Some nice bags for whatever's in there. Tokens are in that one. And this one's got more tokens. They're just full of tokens.
Yeah. So this is looks interesting, just not for us. It looks like you got some tech tracks here you can move up with these things, that kind of thing. So yeah,
it's probably a decent game, but
it looks like it's kind of a war game. So if you like war games, that's probably something you might want to take a look at for 2022. That's Nemo's War. One thing I wanted to show you too is the rule book for Nemo's War is 39 pages. So 39-page rule book, and it's got some text in there.
It's got tiny print too.
Yeah, look at that text size. I mean, there's a lot of writing in there. And then, if that's not enough, you got a 31-page Between Voyages guide. So there's 40, 70 pages of reading for you to play this game. No. It's not for me.
It's probably great, but no. Somebody'd have to teach us.
I don't like 40-page rule books. All right, see you later. Hey, how you doing? We're still here at the Escape Winter Con in Orlando, Florida, and we want to play some 2022 games, as many as we can. And I wanted to talk about this game, My Father's Work. Now, this looks like a magnificent game. It really does. Look at it on the table. I mean, this thing is pretty incredible. It comes with these washed little miniatures and some chunky pieces. It has this huge scenario book type of thing that different areas. It's your board, and you got a board that it sits on. So that's pretty unique.
I mean, this is an amazing production.
Yeah, amazing production. It's 180 minutes long, this game. So we're just not going to take the time to play it here at the convention.
Well, it'd take us twice that to learn.
Yeah, to learn the game and to play it, and it would just take us the better part of the day. So I'm not willing to give it that in
and
this
it's
convention.
not one that we would own.
It's not one I've owned for one reason. It has to use an app. You can't play this game without the app, and I just don't own any games like that, and I don't plan on it.
I don't know.
Yeah. You have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. I'm not going to own games where you have to use the app to play it. For whatever
one
reason.
That's 3 hours long.
Yeah. So but I was curious about it, and if you like this kind of thing, I just wanted to show it to you because it looks fantastic.
It's a beautiful game.
And I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but again, I'm just not going to get into it here at the convention, and I'm never going to own it. So I just wanted to show it to you. It's a very interesting game. If you don't mind using apps or using tablets, because I think I read one guys, they were watching the tablet for 30 minutes. I mean, so you can just go on and on with narrative and everything in this game, and it's just not for us. But again, if that doesn't bother you, if you enjoy using apps in board games, then this one would probably interest you. I just wanted to show it to you. That's My Father's Work. It's a 2022 publication. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. We just got done playing another game here at Escape Winter Convention in downtown Orlando, Florida. And the game was Architects of the West Kingdom by Shem Phillips and S.J. McDonald. And they've done a series of games, this design team. And we've played several of them.
This is the third one we've played.
Yeah, the third one we played. We played Raiders of the North Sea. We played Viscounts of the West Kingdom or something like that. Yeah. And then this one. And they're all pretty good. This one was pretty good. It's a worker placement game. Yeah. I guess worker placement, build contract fulfillment type of thing. I mean it's pretty good, and just to be honest, none of his games, their games really do that much for me, especially the art. I can't get over the art. I just never liked it. I mean the game plays solidly enough, and it's very popular, so my opinion really doesn't matter. They're just not for me. And the Viscounts I didn't care for. This game was okay.
I liked the the Raiders of the North Sea. That's the one I liked the best out of the three.
Yeah, same here. I think Raiders of the North Sea was the one I liked the best out of all this game. This game came out in 2018, and it's for 1 to 5 players, so it has a solo variant.
Was this the first one?
No, I think Raiders.
Okay.
Raiders of the North Sea.
Okay.
And then there's like Explorers of the North Sea and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, this game's solid. If you got it, that's great. It's a good game. Works well. You send each other to prison.
Got a lot of cool resources.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice small box. That's kind of cool, and the box is pretty solid.
Yeah, you can send your opponent to jail. That's a good one.
Yeah, I will say that this is a nice, strong box, so the production's pretty nice for a Euro game. Yeah, wonderful. The card stock is nice. They're linen cards, and you can wear these things out and never lose any paint off of them. Yeah, but the production is good, and the game is good, and we wanted to play it because we try to grab one of his games and play, and maybe one will hit home with us. So far, still Raiders of the North Sea is the one we like the best. So, but we still don't own that one either. I don't know what I'd get rid of to make room for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
We had fun.
Yeah, we had fun playing it. We didn't do any of this for some reason.
I was corrupt, so I wasn't allowed to contribute to the cathedral.
So, okay, well, yeah, that's about it, and we'll see you next time on Bones Collector. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, how you doing? We just finished playing Space Base here at Escape WinterCon in sunny Orlando, Florida. In the daytime. It's nighttime now, it's not very sunny. But this game was designed by John D. Clare, came out in 2018, 2 to 5 players, 60 minutes, that's about right. It takes about an hour, didn't it?
Oh, I think,
yeah. So we enjoyed this game very much. It's an engine builder, straight engine builder. You're rolling dice, and you can either use the dice for their sum total or individually, depending on how you want to use them or what you want to activate on your player board here. And not only that, when you roll these dice, the other player gets to activate their deployed ships, which are the red ones, the ones that are on top of the board. And then they activate the blue boxes on their own board, and you activate the red ones on your board. So that's the way this game works. We've been wanting to play this for quite a while. Saw it in 2018, saw people playing it, and I enjoy it. I mean, it was fun. It's a little fiddly when you're trying to slide things underneath.
You're sliding the cards. That was hard.
I'm kind of clumsy, I guess. But the board moves.
He knocked his cubes off a couple times.
And then these cubes, these things are very important. This is your victory point track and your gold track and your Saturn track. But these should have been slotted, because I bumped these with my arm a couple of times. That's probably how I ended up tying. You probably actually beat me.
Either that or you won.
Yeah. When you're reaching for cards and stuff, you're going to hit these cubes. So that's kind of annoying. So just that couple of little complaints. But hey, it's a really good game and a lot of fun, easy to learn. Yeah. It's a good game, and John D. Clare has done some good games, Mystic Vale, and what's the big one now he's got? Reckoners, Dead Reckoning?
Is that it?
I think Dead Reckoning is his, yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, the art's, just little spaceships, nothing fancy.
Skinny little cars. These are kind of, I don't know.
But you got to be able to slide them underneath, and you do tend to knock things around sometimes, slide them under.
The art's pretty good, but the card quality is...
they're just paper cards, I mean.
I don't know, it might be linen, I
They're
don't
all
know.
right.
But anyways, yeah. I thought I'd tell you about it.
They've obviously held up, and this thing's been around a while. So.
That's like our, 5th, 6th game today, something like that.
We were low today because of Ark Nova.
Yeah,
it
Ark
slowed
Nova.
us down a little bit.
Ark Nova took half the morning. It took the whole morning.
It did take the whole morning.
Half the day.
Yeah, half the day we spent on Ark Nova.
Yeah, so that's Space Base. Is there anything else I can say about it? By AEG, a very popular game. I think a lot of people love it. Mechanisms, dice roll. Oh yeah, dice rolling, open drafting, random production.
But yeah, nice dice. That was fun. We had a good time.
And the one is a spaceship, so that's pretty cool.
That's cute.
The one's a little rocket ship. Yeah, it was entertaining for an hour, and I think you get tired of it pretty quick if you played it all the time.
Well, there might be a little more to it because we didn't do some of the steps. But
Okay.
It was fun.
That's it, and we'll see you tomorrow because I'm not doing any more tonight. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and it's the end of the night. We wanted to play something nice, light and easy, and we've never played Qwirkle. And Qwirkle is a mass-market, mass-produced game. Came out in 2006, and it's just a tile placement pattern building game where you're trying to match colors or shapes, or both, and trying to score the most points you can. And by doing so, and if you get 6 in a row, that's a Qwirkle, so you get 12 points. When you lay one of these tiles down, you just get however many that are in that row. And then, for instance, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If someone put that tile there, they'd get 5 points. Now, one more tile there would give a Qwirkle. If it wasn't for this Qwirkle, and you can get 12 points.
You just like saying Qwirkle.
So that's how you definitely want to get the Qwirkles because, you know, like I said, and you can score, like, if you know how to put these in here to where, and we had some going on here where we were getting double points for placement without a Qwirkle. So you have to kind of watch how the patterns are being built. It's a light, thinky type of thing and thinky affair. And we have sequence in our gaming library. Someone bought that for me as a gift, my daughter-in-law, and I just can't get rid of it. It's too much fun. You know, you just use a couple. It's a mass market game. It's you use a couple of decks of cards to place checkers on a board, and it's the type of game you can play and talk, and you don't have to think too hard. And that's what this game is also. So, but I mean, if you can get caught sleeping if you don't see something that's available, and the other player does, and tough luck. So you got to kind of pay attention. But I enjoyed the game. We had a lot of fun playing it. I would play it again. And look how nice and thick, and these are wooden tokens. Yeah. They are thick and chunky, man.
There's a big bag that they all go in.
Yeah, huge bag, huge draw bag. Pretty nice.
It was like a one-page rule book.
Yeah.
It was perfect for this time of night.
So, man, this again, I've wondered about this game and wondered about it and saw it in, you know, every mass market. So probably in Walmart, and it's probably in Target, and we just never got around to playing it. And I'm glad we did.
And who won?
Yeah, we tied.
Again.
We tied. So, well, we played 2 games. I did win the first one.
You won the first one,
and we tied in the second one.
We tied the second one.
So, yeah, I would play this over and over and over again. It's that kind of game.
It is fun.
I mean, if you
How
want
many people can it play?
Plays 2 to 4.
2 to 4, okay.
This
well, that would be interesting.
This plays 2 to 4, so you can get 4 people around the table and lay down these thick, chunky tiles and jabber jaw and still play a game, and that's pretty fun sometimes. And I like having a game like this in my library. Like I have Sequence. I actually would put this in my library. Yeah. I mean, it's something that it just doesn't get old. I mean, you play it and it's there when you, like tonight, we're so tired.
Yeah.
That
we couldn't read another rule book.
Yeah, we've been gaming all day, and I told her I am not reading another rule book. I'm too tired, and well, let's try Qwirkle, because we knew what it was. And lo and behold, after a couple of games of this, it's like playing dominoes or something. You can play it over and over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that. Every game doesn't have to be Ark Nova or Twilight Imperium.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have to be like that when you game. If you want to have a couple of difficult games in your library, that's great, but a lot of them, and it just gets to be too much. So you kind of want to vary the type of games that you have for times when you're tired and don't want to work that hard intellectually. Like we've been working it. We've been at it today.
For
we've been
3
at
days.
it. Yeah, and so our minds are getting a little bit squeezed and dried up, and our gray matter's not working like it was. So yeah, that's Qwirkle. I hope I didn't ramble on too much because I'm tired, but it's a fun game. I would recommend this game to anybody. It's just as good as, again, for the application, it's a 10. I mean, for what it is, it's a 10. And I'll see you later. We'll talk at you tomorrow when we play some more games. Bye-bye. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Welcome to Boats Collector. We're still here at the convention, the last day. It goes on through Sunday, but we're going to go home tonight. Our cat is missing us. I can hear her now. Yeah, come home. Come home, snuggle with me. So she's missing us.
And we're tired.
And we're tired. We're old and we're tired. This morning, I played a game called River Dragons. It's a 22-year-old game, and it was a little interactive Euro game. It came in a little box, but they kickstarted a giant version of it. And this is what it looks like. And we played it this morning with a bunch of people, and we had fun doing it. It's not the type of game that I would enjoy playing all the time because you're smashing each other. You're taking away all their avenues of winning constantly with your hand of cards, and it's a programming game. You have 13 cards in your hand. 5 of them are dragons, or 6, I can't remember.
5 because there's 6 players. You had everybody but yours.
So you have 5 dragons, which takes away one of their turns. And then you have cards that do various things like putting out stones, putting out bridges, and movement of your little lady, whatever she happens to be.
Yeah.
Little, it's a giant.
They were giant, yeah. Because we played giant.
And the object is to make it from your island to the furthest island away from you. So everybody has a different goal. and you're playing cards, you're going to be taking away bridges, you're going to be taking away stones and trying to stop people from getting to their destination.
Drop them in the water.
Yeah, just make them fall in the water. And I did terribly. And there was five of us playing, or six? Six of us playing, and there was a little boy there. He was named Lane, and he was, I don't know, he's probably 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And he won the game. So he was very thrilled to win the game, and it was fun to play with all those people.
Yeah.
And again, just have a good time gaming. But the game is beautiful on the table because it's huge. You could never play this at home. You have
to have 2 tables.
Yeah, well, you have to play it on the hood of your car.
Yeah, or on the floor.
Like those guys that sell the Elvis paintings on
Yeah.
the side of the road. Throw that on the hood of the car and play it.
Yep.
But it was fun, and it's fun to do those kinds of things when you go to a convention. So we had a good time playing it. I don't know who the designers were. Again, it came out in 2000. And
I know Madigo Games made the giant version.
it comes in a wood box, and it's just the type of game that you bring to conventions. That's the only time you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we had a good time, and Richard was our teacher and host. Thank you, Richard, for showing us that game. We had a good time playing it. So yeah, that's River Dragons. River Dragons, yeah. Hey you guys, we're still here at Escape Winter Convention, which by the way is going to be moved to winter. We're thankful for that. Too many conventions all in a row here. I'm glad we're going to have one in February, so we can't wait for that. But anyways, we just got done playing Taj Mahal by Reiner Knizia. It came out in 2000, so this is an old game. This is 22 years old. It plays 2 to 5 players. I think the original version had to have 3 players, but they made some rules for a 2-player game, so now the new box, it's a reprint, and if you get the new box, it plays 2 players, which is really nice. Nice linen cards, the board is reasonably sized, tokens are nice and thick, and you got these little castles that you put out on the board. So pretty nice production, and I'm sure this game would be relatively inexpensive. I wouldn't pay a lot of money for it, but it does work because it's by one of the best board game designers in history, Reiner Knizia. You know, whatever you think of this game, the guy can design a board game. This game works well. You use kind of a dummy player in this game with the 2-player variant, which is very nice, and it works really well, but except sometimes the dummy takes a lot of tokens, and that makes you mad. You just
the dummy won, actually.
We should get one of those inflatable guys, and whenever he wins the token, just punch him. But yeah, because he stole a lot of our points. And Lori ended up winning. Look, she's green always, and I'm yellow, and she beat me by 3 points. I think she must have cheated.
I probably did.
Somewhere. If she beats me, she's cheating.
I cheated while you were in the flea market.
Oh yeah, I do want to tell you about that. Let's see. This is kind of a. Geez.
I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah,
set collection, probably, because you're collecting these things. It'd be a set collection.
Mechanism, auction and bidding. Yeah, I guess you are, because you're laying down the number of cards, and whoever has the most elephants or whatever. Hand management, network and route building, yeah. Okay, and some set collection.
Yeah, because you're trying to connect routes.
And then you have these tokens of these advisors, whatever these guys are. What are they, advisors?
I don't know what they were called.
Nobles? Or,
I don't know what they were called. Let's look.
But
these guys.
You can win these guys by the number of icons on the cards that you're going to play. And your
Members of the Imperial Court is what they were.
Members of the Imperial Court. Here's what your cards look like.
Those guys.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Members of the Imperial Court.
And then your cards look like this, and you can see they have the people on them. And if you have the most when you're playing your cards, you are going to win that particular person. Once you get 2 of them, you get to invoke their power. And so that's pretty nice. And these are on those cards up here.
Powers.
And if you have the most elephants on your card, you see an elephant on there, then you get the big token that's on this baby right here, which the stupid dummy player got the number 11 and the number 12.
Yeah.
You play 12 rounds, and so there's 12 of these. Anyways, yeah, we had a really good time playing this game. I would play it again because, again, I've played so many games this particular convention, or on all conventions, games that are kind of broken and don't really work well. You know, I always try and tell people, buy games from a reputable board game designer, somebody who has the ability to design good board games. There are tons of board game designers. There's a bunch of mediocre ones. That's the majority of them. Then there's some good ones, and then there's some great ones. And you want to find out who the great board game designers are. And those are the games you probably want to get your hands on because they don't break in any way. They're good from the beginning, they're good in the middle, and they're good at the end. And it's hard to do. And sometimes board games are designed in such an elaborate and lengthy campaign level that the game doesn't have to be good because you don't know any better. You'll never finish it. Some of these campaign games that take 180 hours or whatever to finish, you know, you never finish it. So it's, who knows if it's any good. But yeah, anyways, I digress. But yeah, this is a wonderful game, and again, the guy is a good designer. Anything with Reiner Knizia's name on it, I'm going to play it, or at least give it a shot. I'm not saying I'll love it, but I certainly love him. He does a nice job, and I've got quite a few games by him that I really enjoy. Taj Mahal is a solid Euro game. It's not going to make you forget Foundations of Rome, that kind of production, because it's a little tiny Euro game. But there's enough to think about, enough to do in here to make your brain hurt just enough, just in that sweet spot, and to enjoy the gaming experience, and that's really nice. So yeah, that's Taj Mahal, and I hope you're having a good day. Bye-bye. Hey you guys, welcome to Bones Collector, and we're still at the convention winding down. We're going to try and get in maybe one more, but maybe two. We'll see what happens. But we just got done playing Imhotep, a 2016 game by Phil Walker Harding. Now you may recognize that name because the guy's a good board game designer. I keep trying to tell you guys to look out for that. I mean, he did Baron Park, which we loved, and he did Cacao, which we loved, and Gizmos, which we loved. So he's done some really good games. We haven't kept any of them because you can't keep all games, even if you love them. So he's a very good board game designer with a nice reputation, a nice catalog of accomplishments, and I wanted to play this game, and I've been intrigued by it, just haven't gotten around to it. You know, there's a lot of board games, but I wanted to play this, and it's just a light board game, and it's for 2 to 4 players and 40 minutes. I think that's about right. But you know what? I had a good time playing it, and I would own this game.
It's 2016, did you say that?
2016, yep. It has enough going on, enough thinkiness, and enough interaction that you will like it, because you're loading up these boats with cubes from the quarry. One of your actions can be to take 3 cubes from the quarry, and you can only hold 5, so you can only do that at certain times. So you got it's a timing thing. A lot of timing goes into this, and then you're going to load these boats up, and the boats change every round because you have a group of cards here, and you go through those cards, and so that's the timer for the end game trigger. And the thing is, in this game, is the one who puts a boat in the port last for the round, the other person goes first. So you're if you want to go first, you're going to have to time that. You may not get cubes where you want them or something, and you're just like, oh, I got to go first next round, so I'm just going to make sure my opponent puts the boat last in the port last, you know, and so that kind of play goes on. And then also you're trying to do these, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a set collection game because you got some cards you can collect and score.
Market cards.
From this market here. And it's pattern building, like in the pyramids, and you score certain points for the way you build that pyramid. In the temple, you score certain ways for the way you build that.
You can see from the top down.
Yeah, in the burial chamber, it has a chart on the side. You're building, trying to get the most points out of that. This is the obelisk, and that's very nice too, because you get 10 points if you're the tallest. Second place person only gets 1 point. And
in a 2-player game.
In a 2-player game. And here's the thing you can do to mess with the other player.
And he did.
Yeah, Lauren I knew I was beating her with this obelisk, and she had 2 cubes on one of these ships, and I knew she wasn't going to go this obelisk because she couldn't catch me. So once she did something on her turn, and then I took the ship, even though I didn't have any cubes on it, she had 2 on it, and I moved it to the obelisk, something she did not want me to do, because
he's like that.
Yeah, she put these 2 cubes on here in her turn. She had to put them on there because that's where the ship went to port, and she was 1 shy of overtaking me.
Did me absolutely no good.
It was the last round.
And then once you're taking the ship to the dock, you can't put another one there. So yeah.
So I blocked that out. But those are the kinds of interactive things that can happen in this game. I never even watched this play on YouTube, I don't think.
No.
I had seen it on YouTube and knew it existed, this game, but I just didn't feel compelled to play it. And when we were going to the library today, we were looking for something light and quick, because that's just something that we're interested in. And so we grabbed this game, and I'm glad we did. I had a great time playing it, and I would own this game. Absolutely recommend it to you. If you like a nice little thinky puzzle put together in 30 to 40 minutes, this fits the bill. And
scoring points by how you place your cubes down there.
I definitely have to trick it out though, because you can You can
Yeah.
get like special boats for this and make it look really interesting. This is the scoreboard, but it's just enough going on. It's a nice, fun game. I would love to do it. Thank you. And I wanted to tell you about it. So that's Phil Walker Harding's Imhotep, the designer of Barron Park, Gizmos, and Gingerbread House, and Cacao. So the guy's doing a pretty good job with some light games, and I enjoyed this one the best. This is my favorite game by him, for sure. So Imhotep, yeah. And we'll talk to you in a few minutes when we get another game from the library. I'm going crazy. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. We're here at the convention. We've played our last game of the convention. We're going to go eat dinner. We got a 6 o'clock reservation, and we're going to get the heck out of here. Our cat's missing us, and we're missing her, so we want to go home. And we just got done playing Vindication. Vindication is a game that came out in 2018. The designer's name is Mark Needlinger, and Mark was a co-designer on Unsettled, if you've played that game. I think that's a 2021 title. I think it's a huge campaign type of game. I've not played it, and it doesn't look like I don't know if I will. But Vindication's a fun game of resource management on this power board that you have, where you're going to move these cubes around and really try to balance what section of the board they're in, and you're trying to move them from your influence section onto the main board. These areas of influence here, and to do like some of these, the vision and the courage, you have to actually mix colors or combine those. Like, you have to combine strength and knowledge in order to create vision, and you have to combine inspiration and strength to make courage, and that kind of thing goes on. Then you have an avatar that's going to move around on these triangles on the main board, and you are going to be able to visit these regions and get more resources into these main sections of the board. You can also activate and acquire companions and relics to give you extra benefits that you can activate and do more things with. And all of this is trying to gain honor around this track. You can see, because you know what you are? You're a scumbag. That's where you start out. You are the wretched, the scumbag. And you're trying to vindicate yourself and flip over your tile. You know,
become a respectable human being.
You were such a scumbag, your shipmates threw you overboard, and you're floating around the water, and you woke up on a beach, some guys rescued you, and all you can think about is all you had left was the air in your lungs and a desire to do better. So that's what this game's all about. Hey, it's a nice production.
Lot of stuff here.
A lot of stuff in this game. I'm sure it's not a cheap game.
It was a Kickstarter, so I don't know.
So a bunch of stuff in this game. But here's the thing I like about it the most. It's a Euro-style game, make no mistake about it. This is a Euro-style resource management, but it's not the same old tired farming or stone and wheat resource game, and I appreciate that. I've gotten to the point where I can only have so many farming games. I told Lori the next game that offers me wheat as a resource, I'm not even going to look at it. You know, wheat and stone and wood, I've had enough of that.
That in space.
Yeah, in space. But this is a cool theme. To me, that's fresh. And even though some of the mechanisms are very familiar, it's a fun game. And the production is amazing. I mean, these little cards that are all over the board are linen. Nice thick tiles. Yeah. Look at these dice, you guys.
Relics.
Check these dice out.
Big dice.
Those are big daddies there. Those are the biggest dice I've seen aboard.
We didn't play the expansion, so we didn't use the minis.
All right, and that's it. I wanted to tell you this is the last game we played. I like it. I would recommend it. I mean, it's a great game, Vindication, and yeah, we'll see you next time on the Bones Collector. Bye-bye.